Hello, wonderful University of Waterloo students. It's Renata, and I am the Wellness Coordinator in Electrical and Computer Engineering, and I hope you're holding up okay. We've had some recent changes in status, both in the province and the city, and I hope that you're navigating that well. In fact, it's a perfect opportunity to talk about one of my favorite topics and one of the most important topics with resilience and coping, and that is emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence was first accredited to Peter Slavoy and John Mayer in 1990. And it's around the fact that humans are able to recognize and regulate or manage their emotions, but also recognize emotions in others and aren't. And scientists have found that emotional intelligence is actually, many people say it's the real intelligence, and that it is the one that helps us be the most successful in life. So personality is wonderful. It also can be very fixed. A lot of research shows that past a certain age, personality sort of locks in, and we can make an amount of change or kind of file off the rough edges on ourselves, but who we really are doesn't change much. And IQ, well, we can all learn and grow and become smarter than we are. Most of us are not going to become those 180 IQ proteges that we hear about. That's a fixed piece as well. So emotional intelligence, often referred to as EQ, is 100% learnable. And when added to personality and IQ, it can actually create quite a bit of variation and change for us. So it's the one that's the most changeable. EQ is also the foundation of empathy. And so, especially at this time when compassion and understanding what each other are going through, EQ is a really important tool. So I'm just going to share my screen, and I'm going to share a couple of slides with you on EQ that I'm hoping will be helpful. So Daniel Goldman, of course, since the original theory was put out, many people have done some additional research with it. And Dan Goldman's version includes social awareness. So he actually divided it into self and social, recognition, and regulation. So what I can do for myself, what I can do with others, what I can recognize, and what I can regulate. So the first quadrant is self-awareness. How able are we to recognize our own moods, what we're going through, our drives, what is kind of motivating us, our own inner motivations. Social awareness is the ability to recognize other people's emotions or their reactions, or be empathetic, or note that someone seems down today or is especially happy today, or whatever the other person's moods and emotions are. Regulation, applied to ourselves, is the ability to manage and work with and moderate or modulate, calibrate our own emotions. And of course, social skills, which are our ability to navigate relationships and support others. So maybe take a look at this and see, where do you think you're naturally strong? Where is one that you would like to start developing that would just help you in your personal life right now, but also in your career? We know that managers and leaders with high EQ tend to be far more successful than those without it. So a tool that you can use, I wanted to share this tool with you, and you can use it a couple of different ways. It's the mood meter, and the mood meter was designed by Yale Institute for Emotional Intelligence, the University of Yale, or Yale University, I'm not sure what they go by. And it talks about the fact that mood has two components: energy and pleasantness. So pleasantness is how happy or positive or negative a mood is, and energy is how much energy or how static the mood is, how dynamic or how low the energy levels are. And so the two ways you can use this, the first one is you can find yourself. You can use this to help develop awareness of emotions in yourself and others. You can get a sense of what your energy, your mood, your pleasantness is, and then your energy, and use it to identify where you might sit. So right now I'm sitting kind of about here in terms of pleasantness and about there mid in terms of energy. So if I go across, I wouldn't say I'm apathetic. At ease, yeah, probably somewhere in between these two is where I'm sitting. And so that would be the first, was where do you sit on the mood meter right now? And then the second way to use this is you could use it to shift your mood or shift your emotions in the moment. And that's part of the regulation part. So along this continuum, there is usually a mood that we can get to pretty easily from where we are. So if I go along the pleasantness, I could probably get to loving pretty easily if I start remembering great times. I spoke to my mom this morning. That made me feel good. I think about my husband and my nieces. I can generate feelings of loving. If I go up the energy side, well, actually, here's an interesting thing. Today, it's easier for me to generate pleasantness than it is for me to generate energy. I can probably only increase one. So could I get to hopeful or playful? Yeah, probably if I'm going up along. I think I can definitely get to hopeful. Can I get all the way to playful? I'm not sure. But once I generate this state of hopeful, then I can revisit the mood meter and say, can I get even higher? And of course, the mood with the most energy and the most pleasantness is ecstatic, really joyful and happy and feeling really good. I don't know that I can get to that corner right now. I could probably get to inspired though. I think I could get there, optimistic, somewhere along in this area here. So where could you get? Where are you sitting today? How far along the mood meter could you generate? And then if you catch yourself kind of sliding back, it's great. Just take stock and see what you could get to again. What I found over the many years of using a tool like this one is even if I just get, if I'm down here hopeless in my worst possible day, I can usually get to sleepy pretty easily. I can often get to complacent pretty easily. But however far I can get, if I was that hopeless, I can get to miserable, troubled, frightened. I could probably get all the way up to here in terms of energy, which would then maybe help me get across the mood meter this way. But even if I can only move a little bit on the meter, tomorrow starts a little bit better than today did, the more I can move the meter. And so that's my hope for you. If you find your mood's a little lower, that you're able to state generate today, hold it as high as you can for the day, and start a little better place tomorrow. But wherever we are on the meter, we can get one step better. So there you go. That's 2 ways you can use it to help increase awareness and then to also help increase regulation. I hope this finds you well, and I am trying to figure out how to stop sharing my screen. I miss you all, and I will see you as soon as I'm allowed to see you. Take care of yourself.